Chanuka was halfway through the second base of Mikdash. The Kufa of Chanuka started, and Shimon HaTzadik, as the Rambam says in Akdama, in Perish Mishnayos, all the Tanoim were all from Talmidav, from his students. In other words, he was from the Messiah of Torah Sheba'al Peh, and the whole period of the Tanoim, the Mishnayos, and the Gemara was all built up. The Gemara was after the Churban mainly, the Tanoim were before, some were after, but the whole period of Torah Sheba'al Peh was built up in this era, in this time. And it was a whole new, like the Hirsch explains, there was a period that the Rosh knew we're going to be going to Golus, and the only way to really hang out and be able to survive until the very end is through the power of Torah Sheba'al Peh, the way we have it today, which is through the Talmud. There's no other way. There's no other way that we would survive. Until that point, it was different. There was a different system in Torah Sheba'al Peh. Everything was clear. It was known. It wasn't. Things weren't so headed. You have to learn a whole block Gemara with Rashi and Tosfos and see the Rishonim, but then figure out and then argue until you come out with a psak and see all the different Rishonim. It was a different mahalach, which was a shir by itself. But the Torah Sheba'al Peh, the way we have it today, was developed then. And that's what it says in the Bryce of Rabbi Shmuel, Pirkei Yichaylos. He says Rabbi Shmuel says the whole purpose. They didn't want to build a second base of Mikdash. They knew it wasn't the same as the first. It didn't have to. It wasn't the same. Chaisa wasn't the same level. The Baruch Shalom promised them he's going to teach them the secrets of Torah. That's the Rosei Torah, and it goes through a whole list of descriptions of the beauty of Torah, the Iker, the Ziva, the Hadra, the Iker beauty is in Torah Sheba'al Peh, the way we have it. And that was given during this period of Hanukkah. This is the Ner that lights up until today. So, even though we wrote down a lot of Torah Sheba'al Peh, we know Torah Sheba'al Peh is not supposed to be written down. Right? You're not supposed to write it down. It's supposed to, the Torah Sheba'al is written down. And that's open. The Bible, all the nations took the Bible and they made whatever they wanted with it. But Torah Sheba'al Peh was not supposed to be written down. The only reason we wrote it down is because Eis Lasis Lashem, Feris Secha, we're going through the Golus. Rabbi saw that we were not going to be able to have the same ability to hold us all by heart. It was not by heart, so we started writing down. And even the Mishnayos is written down. As you know, you read a Mishnah, and then you have Blat Gemara. You know, you have to figure out what the Mishnah is saying, you change the words, move it around. There's a lot of action going on and trying to figure out the Parsha Pshat in the Mishnah that was written like that specifically so it should remain a level of Torah Sheba'al Peh. Torah has to be in a person's heart, not written on a piece of paper. So the one thing, the example of Torah Sheba'al Peh that remains Torah Sheba'al Peh, there's no Mishnayos, there's no Gemara about it, it's Hilchos Chanuka. Because this is the Yom Tov of Torah Sheba'al Peh. So it struck me, interesting enough, that the one thing we do, what do we do in Chanukah? We lane the Chanukahs, we lane the Nesiim, right? We lane the Parshas on Nesiim, we lane that, right? Some people have a minhag by Nisan, by the more Hasidic places, but some people have a minhag by Nisan, they lane the Nesiim. That's really what happened. It really happened. Rosh Chodesh Nisan, you know. They put up the Mishkan, so they had that's when you're supposed to lane the Parshas Nesiim. That's when you think you were supposed to be laning the Parshas Nesiim. But we don't lane it there. We have no chiyuv to lane it then. Some people lane it, you know. They don't make a bracha. They just read it from the Torah. But we have the takana to lane it is now by Chanukah. That's when we lane the Kriyas HaTorah, and the Chazal say that really they finished bringing the gold, the silver. They finished bringing everything for the Mishkan now by Chanukah time in Kislev. They finished bringing it. Hashem said, "No, we have to wait till Nisan. That's time to build it. But I'll pay you back. There's going to be a time when there's going to be that Komas HaMishkan." And this is when we learn it. And the reason why we learn it now is because everything has two, there's the actions, the Maisal mitzvah, you do it, and then there's the learning of it. You have to learn it. And it's not like in other things where you just learn it to know what to do. But I tell you, we all know that it's like the neshama, it's the soul. A person does a mitzvah without spending time working on it, learning about it, and putting a little work into the understanding and the Torah Shabbat Peh that lies behind the mitzvah. The mitzvah is an empty vessel; it's missing. So all the work and the gear they put in order to the preparations to make the Mishkan, all went into the Mishkan, all went into building of the Mishkan, and that was finished by Chanuka time. And when we learned the Torah by Chanuka time, even though we didn't build it at Mishkan, many years later, they rededicated the Beis HaMikdash on Chanuka time. But we learn it because the kriyasa, the learning of the Torah, that is the building it. If a person has to bring a carbon today, what does he do? He can't bring a carbon. As I'll say, that's why we have kabbanas in the beginning of davening. The reason why we have kabbanas in the beginning of davening is because a person is chayav a carbon, you can't bring a carbon today. So you read the parsha of the carbon, it's as if you brought it. In our religion, it's not just the action, but it's what you put behind it. And the learning of the parsha, the of the chatas is as if you brought chatas. When we had a carbon, you had to bring the chatas too, not just learn the parsha. So the learning of the parshas and Nasiyim, when we read Kriyas HaTorah, the parshas and Nasiyim, that is as if we're rededicating the Beis HaMikdash. So this is one of the lessons of Chanuka, is the Torah Shabbat Peh that lies within, and that when we learn about it today, it's enhanced our Hadlakas Nehus. It's not just we're lighting the candle, but we're going to learn about it and have a little understanding of what goes on. So the takana of Hadlakas Ner Chanuka, the takana of Hadlakas Ner Chanuka was, we know, because of the Ner Shaman, the Shaman that was that they found the Chos B'Shal Kohen Gadol, and they lit for 8 days. The famous Beis Yosef's Kasha, we should light it only for 7 days, right? We should light it for 7 days because one day, last 1 day for sure. They had enough for 1 day. So only 7 days was the miracle, not the 8th day. So a lot of answers given. But there are two parts to the mitzvah, the two nisim that we have. One is the nes of the Pach Shaman, and one is the nes of the Milchama, of the war, the battle. And again, we have the same concept where how do we commemorate anything? We just light a ner, and we say Ala Nisim, which is for the Milchama. Aneres Halol, Shalom Avlikim, Ala Nisim. We say because we lit it. We're actually allowed to say it. We make the bracha. It's a very interesting halacha. You make the bracha on the Ner Chanuka, and then you light one candle. And then a minhag, most people have a minhag to start saying Haneres Halolu while they light Mahadran, the sixth night of Hanukkah. So you light one, and then as you light the rest, you could say Haneres Halolu, even though normally you would never make a hefsek between a bracha and doing a mitzvah. But here, this is part of the doing it a mitzvah is that you're making a statement that it's for the nes. It's for the nes of winning the Milchama. We're lying in there for the nes of winning the Milchama, because many battles can be won, but beauty of this battle that was won was that we know that there was a nes from the Rebbeinu Shalom that we won the battle, and that we have to have in mind when we're lighting it. So even though we make a bracha, we can light one there, and then we could continue lighting the others. Even though we're talking, we're saying shouldn't talk about other things. We can say Haneres Halolu. That's part of the mitzvah.
A very basic question. Why do we? I mean, there's lots of nisim over the periods of our history.
Yeah. So why this one? This one is a very, very important. This was a very important battle. This was the saving of the entire nation of Klal Yisrael from total loss blending into the Yevanim, to the Greek culture. So very, very basic. This is a very. This is something which we battle all today. Like we said in the story in the beginning, we're all the same front line. We're all battling the same thing today. This thing doesn't end. Doesn't end until Mashiach will come. It's not going to end until Mashiach comes, and then. So in the Bnei Yisachar says that that's what we call Mashiach Ner. Supposed to say that right? We say it should be the Ner of Mashiach. Yeah, we say Ner. We call it the Ner because the Ner Chanukah is going. So it says Ner Chanukah goes all the way until Mashiach coming. We're in the same front lines. We're battling the same battles, and we have to fight it the same way. We have to have a pure Pach Shel Shemen to fight it with. You're not going to fight it with one side the Xmas tree and one side the Chanuka menorah. I mean that's extreme, but we all have in our houses. We have all cultures together. We need to fight it with the pure Pach Shemen. Okay, so the shaila is like this: what happens? You lit the Ner Chanuka, and you're in a rush to fill up the neiros. It was the sixth night of Chanukah, and you lit 5 candles. Okay? And then you lit 5 candles, and then you realize that, 1 second, it's the 6th night of Chanukah. You're counting yours, you're counting your son's candles, you start realizing that you're one off. So I have to light another one. So there's really 2 questions here. There's one question is there any value of 5 candles on the 6th night of Chanukah? Or it's either 1 or 6. Mikra Adin, you only have to light 1. Ner Ishu Beisa. Each household lights 1 candle. Okay? Then there's a Mahadrin, there's a minimum Mahadrin. Each person lights. You light for the amount of people in the house. Each person lights. We'll come back to that. And then you light for each day. Each day of Chanukah. So on the 6th night of Chanukah, you light 6 candles. So you lit 5. Is there any value in 5 candles, or it's either 1 or 6? 5 candles. A guy walks by outside, he sees a thing, he thinks it's the 5th night of Chanukah. He doesn't chap that it's the 6th night. Is there any value? So there's actually, why do we light each day with Moisef 1 more? So there's 2 reasons in the Gemara. One reason is because when Moisef V'Hoilach Mailam V'Kodesh Vein Marita, you go up. Every day you add on. So yesterday you lit 5. So today, let's say the guy doesn't have enough, he's a poor person, he doesn't have enough oil, he can either light 5 or 1. Should he light 5? So the smart to say, well, yesterday I lit 5. You're supposed to go up, you're not supposed to go down. If today he's only going to light 1, he's going down B'Kodesh. That's a smart to say you should light all 5.
At least then you're staying flat.
Yeah, at least you're not going down, right? Or the Gemara gives another reason, because Keneged the days. So if it's Keneged the days, it's Keneged the days, so okay.
You can't do 6.
You're not going to see the days. It's 5 days, it's 6 days, you're not lighting 5, it wouldn't have any value. So was there any kiyum of the Hiddur when I did 5? So if there was, good, so I did something. Now I get another candle, so I light another one. If there wasn't, maybe I have to put out the last 4. Put out 1 I did was the mitzvah, but the other 4 was just, I was just lighting candles. So I put out the other 4, and then I get another one. Now I light the next 5. Now I did 6. I did the mitzvah together, but the first 4 I did maybe weren't part of the mitzvah. Beis Levi has a shaila on that. But my we go with that. You had 4. That's enough, and you can just light the next one when you get another one. But the question is, do I make a bracha on the next one? Okay, now I'm going to light another one. Do I make a bracha? Okay, I already made a bracha when I lit the first 5. Now, I forgot.
Bracha's on the first candle, it's not on the...
And I wasn't planning on lighting another one. I didn't realize. I thought it was the 5th night of Hanukkah. I didn't realize that. Whatever the reason is, I counted wrong. Maybe there's a difference. But I come back an hour later, or a half hour later, I want to light the next one. Do I make a bracha? So this is a question like this. Do I make a bracha on the Mahadrin, on the Hiddur mitzvah, do I make a bracha? So, it's a machlokes aposkim. Maybe the Eli Rabbah with the Pri Chodesh, it's machlokes. If you make a bracha on the Mahadrin, And in such a case, normally we don't make a bracha. We normally don't make a bracha, safek brachas lahakil, we're not going to make a bracha on mahadran. But, we mentioned there's two types of mahadran. There's one mahadran, you really mikra adin, and by the Sephardim they do this, right? You light one candle, or they light one menorah, and the rest of the household is yaitz with them. So light two by the Sephardim. By the Ashkenazim, we light each person, which is the Gemara says. The Gemara says mahadran is each person in the house lights the ner. Each person. The Sephardim only do one. Why do they only do one? Why do they only do one? Why don't they have each person in the house light? Why do they do it like that? So, Tosfos says, because we shouldn't talk about this question, because there's two mahadrins, mahadran and mahadran. There's to light, each person lights, and then there's to light the amount of people in the house, each person, and then there's to light the amount of days. They used to light by the door of the house, right? Like at Eretz Yisrael, you light by the door of the house. So imagine you're lighting by the door of your house. Now you have 10 people, you have a nice big Jewish family, 10 people, the husband, the wife, the kids, you have 10 people. So you're going to light 10 candles on the first night. The second night you're going to light 20 candles. Someone's going to say it's the 20th night of Hanukkah. How are they going to know which night of Hanukkah it is? Maybe there's 5 people in the house and it's the 4th night of Hanukkah. Maybe there's 10 people in the house, it's the 2nd night of Hanukkah. You're never going to be able to figure out. You're all lighting in the same place. You're lighting by the door of the house, right? So you look at the candles. I remember I was learning in Yerushalayim, so I was walking by one house, and it was beautiful. He must have had 10 kids, and it was the 8th night of Hanukkah, and he had rows, like 10 rows of 8 candles, or 8 rows of 10 candles. I don't know how he did it. It was like, like you go to a simcha and all the women light together, and that's how it was in front of the house, all 10. That's how he lit. But they lit together as a Sephardi. And he held like the shittas, you light, like the Rambam brings, you light for the 8th night of Hanukkah with 10 kids, you light 80 candles. 8 kids with the wife, 10 people in the family. The husband lights.
In Sephardi there's only one.
The Rambam says, he brings the shita and he says, the Maisa, the minhag was to light only one. Right. But there was somebody light 10. But what was the reason? Because you couldn't tell which night of Hanukkah it is. That's why they lit only one. Because the whole purpose of lighting, so only one person lit. But by Ashkenazim, we do, no, we don't do like that. We do each person lights. And Ramah says to try to separate it a little bit, that it shouldn't look, today we do it inside by the window. So you could separate a little bit, it's bigger than a doorway. And they have to put it by the tefach hasamach to the door. It's hard to get a lot. And it's so they find all kinds of ways, boxes on top of the boxes, on these, inside the door, outside the door, find ways to get more neighbors by the door. But today we light inside by the window. There's plenty of room, so you make you separate. People should light in different places, because otherwise it takes away the whole purpose. You don't realize how many candles are being lit. Fine. So, but the question is like this: I light for the 5th night of Hanukkah 5 candles. Okay, if I have whatever amount of children I have, really, according to the Rambam, I, as the Balabayas, I'm supposed to light according to the amount of people in the house. So if there's me, my wife, and 4 kids, and 6 people, so I light 6 candles on the first night. I make a bracha and I light 6 candles. Okay? And then the second night I light 12 candles. That's how the Rambam has it.
The separate chanukah for each.
The same one. Yeah, the same one. We Ashkenazim, we don't do that. We do that each person in the house lights by himself. We do it different. If you learn the Gemara with the Rishonim, you won't find this. The Rishonim, it's either you light according to how many people are in the house and according to how many nights it is. But the way we do is that each person in the house lights his own candle, and it becomes different, because my son, that's Kadai Nahara, not yet a year, he's not going to be lighting in the Chanukah this year. Okay. Now, if I'd be lighting for the amount of people in the house, I would include him.
Too.
I'm not going to leave him out. He's a member of the family, and include him in the lighting. The wife, today we go Ishta Kagufay. The wife goes along with the husband. I like his life. She goes along with the husband. If you do it the way the Rambam says, if you look it up, you light according to members in the household. She's included. She's part of the household. She's included. So, what? Yeah. You want the latkes after. I mean, she likes for you Shabbos. She includes you in the number on Shabbos, so you want to conclude on Hanukkah. So you're lighting for her, you light for the amount of people. But we don't do it like that. We do it in Mahadran differently. We do it that each person lights his own menorah. Now, if each person lights his own menorah, I'm going to light the menorah, I'm going to make a bracha. So now it's only going to be Ishta Kagufa, she's not going to light. Only a ben that's a gil chinuch is going to light, because a child that's not a gil chinuch, it doesn't have a toyus ner mitzvah, it's nothing, so he's not going to light. So the mitzvah changes a little bit, change the amount of neris. I'm going to have changes, but that's how we do it. So what comes out is a very interesting thing. What comes out is that I'm going to make a bracha, the first night I look Shasanisim and a Shachiyot, I'm going to light. Then my son is going to make a bracha and he's going to light. Now he's only a Mahadran. He doesn't have to light. It's fine, they don't light. I lit. There's one nair for the house. You only need one nair for the house. He does not have to light. If he decides he doesn't want to light, he's yotzei the mitzvah anyways. As long as there's one nair per household, I'm yotzei. So
does it matter what the head of the household has in mind when they light?
Oh, see, but technically he doesn't have to light.
Right.
He doesn't have to light. It's only Mahadran. Just like the second nair, right? I light the second nair, I light 2 lights. The first nair is the Ikar Chiyuv, that's a mitzvah. The second one is only Mahadran. So too, my nair I light, that's the Ikar mitzvah. Him lighting is only Mahadran.
So does he use a bracha?
So why does he make a bracha? We don't make a bracha. We just said, if let's say the second night of Hanukkah, I lit one candle. And then later I got a hold of the second candle. Oh, now I want to light the second one. Do I make a bracha on it? No, I already lit my candle. The second one is just Mahadran. I'm not going to make a bracha on it. But yet my son is going to make a bracha when he lights. Right? There's another chiluk between the Ikar Ner and the Ner Mahadran. Let's say...
when he lights, it's essentially... he's saying that he's not being yotzei.
Right.
That's what the Kivega says. The Kivega says that the pshat in my son lighting is that he has in mind not to be yotzei with me.
And you had in mind when you lit.
And I have in mind not to be yotzei him. I know he's going to light himself, so I'm not being yotzei him, and he's not being yotzei with me. It'll come out if I light. I know he's going to light. I have no intention of being yotzei him.
Right.
And then something happens, he can't light. Is he yotzei with me? He didn't have mind to be yotzei with me. These things happens, something happens. He couldn't light. He's a yotzei. We'll see. There's a lot of nafkaminas. But let's take this slow.
Him and he just doesn't accept it.
Well, he wasn't
You
yotzei.
see the same thing by Kiddush.
So he wasn't yotzei. I don't care if I was yotzei and he wasn't yotzei with me. So he wasn't yotzei the mitzvah. Let's say if he does light later, he's not going to be yotzei. Let's say we have halacha. You're not allowed to be madlik miner l'ner. Let's say I have a candle, and then I want to light the second candle, and my match goes out. So I just have the first ner Chanuka lit, the first candle lit. I don't have a shamash anymore. Shamash went out. I just have the first ner Chanuka. So could I light the second candle from the first candle? I want to light the second one from the first. Why not?
You can't benefit from that.
Because can't benefit from the candle. What? What did I say?
You just said that.
Oh,
you said you can't light there from there.
I can't light there from there. I can't light one candle from the other candle. Now, the emes by Shabbos we light candle from candle.
Yes, you can. Right?
You could, because you can benefit from.
You're supposed to benefit from on Shabbos.
Yeah, but the halacha is really like this. The halacha is that a ner mitzvah, something that's hooked for a mitzvah, can only be used for a mitzvah. So technically, I'd be allowed to light from one candle to the other, because they're both ner Chanuka, they're both ner mitzvah. The reason I can't is because the first ner Chanuka is the Ikar mitzvah, the second one is just Mahadran. It's not really the real ner Chanuka.
How about third from second?
What about the third from second? It could be I can light the third from second, because they're both Mahadran. The first one is the real ner mitzvah. So the second one is down a level, it's only Mahadran. So I can't light the second one from the first. It could be the third from the second. I could, because that's Mahadran to Mahadran.
Can I use the wax?
So the question is, could my son light from mine? Is he only a Mahadran? The Magen says he can't. He can't light from mine. He's only a Mahadran, and I'm the real mitzvah. Yeah. So if no matches, we can't find matches. The matches are gone. The shamash went out. I have my only light, and my son wants to light. So could he take from my ner Chanuka and light?
Yeah, you light a second one and you
The
take
first night of Hanukkah. So he wants to take from mine there, and he wants to light.
So it depends.
Just give me
So-
an example. Apparently.
If he had mine not be.
So the Morgan says he can't because he's only Mahadran. He's only Mahadran. But Rabbi Kivega says he doesn't understand this because if he's having in mind not to be yaitzu with me, otherwise he can't make a bracha. He's making a bracha. He's having in mind not to be yaitzu with me, so he's going to have to. He's doing the real mitzvah, so he should be able to light for me. This is a question. Okay, just to give a little understanding of the real there and the Mahadran there. This comes relevant very much when a person travels. When a person travels, so the halacha is, we mentioned Shabbos, the halacha is that if Ishtar Madlekas Lovasech Beisai, if let's say he's going to get home very, very, very late, or let's say he's out of town better, he's not coming home, he's not coming home, he's traveling, he's out of town. So he's in a hotel room, and they make it difficult on him, he can't light in the room, the fire alarm's going to go off. He can't light. So, or he's on the plane. He can't light. So the halacha is Ishtar Madlekal is Lovasech Beisai. His wife is lighting for him in the house. All you need is a ner ishu Beisai. You need one ner for the whole house. So he doesn't have to light, especially if his wife. Usually he doesn't know his wife anyways light one. So even if it's not his wife, even if it's his kid, whoever's home, as long as ner ishu Beisai, you have one ner for the house, you're yoitz. His yoitz is mitzvah. That's the halacha. Ner ishu Beisai is yoitz. So if he's traveling, there's someone lit for him in the house, he doesn't have to light in their Chanuka. And that's what Sfardim do. The Sfardim go like this, that a person lights at home, he doesn't light when he's traveling.
The home is lit.
Home is lit. Travel light says. What?
There's a time difference.
Place can talk about the time difference. That could cause an issue. But let's leave that out for now. Even if there is a time issue, many places can say it's enough. It's good enough.
Yeah,
The household has a Yavel night. The problem is that there's halacha that if I'm not lighting, I didn't make the brachas. I didn't make shas and nisum l'avosenu. My wife looked at me at home. I was miles away. I didn't hear the bracha. It didn't work. So I was yotze the ner, but I didn't. So there's a halacha that haroya ner Chanuka. The Chav brings down. So if a person's not lighting, you have a hobo guy. He doesn't have a home. He's not lighting. Homeless. He sees in their Chanuka, he makes a bracha. Sha'as nisum l'avosenu b'yom me'imaz manazeh. The first night on the Chanuka, he makes a shechiyanu. The Chazal masakin a birchas haroya, not only for the person that lights the Chanuka, but anyone who sees it also can make a bracha. Now, if I'm going to light myself, I'm not going to make a bracha. If I'm going home from shul and I see someone beat me to it, he already lit his ner Chanuka, and I see it, technically I should make a bracha. I see a roya ner Chanuka has to make a bracha. But since I'm going to light at home when I get home, so it's better for me to make a bracha when I'm lighting rather than to make the bracha when I'm seeing it from the window. So I'm not going to make the bracha when I light at home. But if I'm not planning on lighting, if I'm not lighting at all, so then when I see the ner Chanuka, I have to make a bracha. It's called the birchas haroya. I can't make a lahadlik ner Chanuka because I'm not lighting, but I make a shas and nisum, and the first night you make a shechiyanu. That's the halach. Yeah.
With the one they light in the synagogue.
Well, we'll get to that. So we'll get to the shul in a moment. So I make a birchas haroya. When I see the ner Chanuka, I make a birchas haroya. Now, there's a machloikis, the Rabbi brings down, machloikis v'shoinim. If my wife looked for me at home, okay? If I don't have any ner, for sure I see it, I got to make a bracha. But if my wife looked for me at home, do I make a bracha? I'm traveling, so I didn't light. But I see in ner Chanuka. I look out the plane window, and I see in the houses below, I see there's the ner Chanuka. Okay? So do I make a bracha now? Do I make a bracha? My wife looked for me at home. It's machloikis v'shoinim. It's machloikis to Mordechai, other v'shoinim. It's machlokes whether you make a bracha on the Chanuka. Safek brachas lahakol, Mishabur brings down. Safek brachas lahakol, you're not going to make a bracha. So safek, it's machlokes, I'm not going to make a bracha. So part of it to take care of this issue a little bit, and also for other issues. So the Ashkenazim always had a minhag that even if I'm traveling, I'm staying somewhere else, even though my wife lives for me at home, but I have in mind, like we said before, I have in mind not to be yotze, just like my son could have in mind not to be yotze with me. So I have in mind not to be yotze with my house, and I light my own Chanuka menorah. So if I'm traveling, I'm staying somewhere, I have in mind not to be yotze. With my wife lighting at home, and I would light my own there.
What's the woman's travel? She
Same thing.
With somebody else.
Same thing. She should make her own. She should make her own.
That if you go serious to throw, that you should be yoitza with someone else.
She should light it herself. Wherever she's living, she light herself. They give her puta, but better to light herself. Yeah. So some say they don't want to light, so they give a puta to mishtatif. It's another sugya when you could be mishtatif. It's always better to light yourself. So the Sfardim, the Yotze with the family at home, but Ashkenazim, that's how they did it. They always did it. They had a mind not to be Yotze. The Yotze, they like themselves, and the Yotze themselves. This way, they take care of the problem of a Birchas Araya. So this same concept that you could have in mind not to be Yotze, and then you could light your own Chanukah menorah where you are, is very relevant for people that are traveling. That's what they do. They actually have in mind not to be Yotze, and then you're going to be Yotze when you light where you are.
If you know for whatever reason that you won't be able to, can you take an exception on that particular case?
Yeah, if you can't light, you can't light. And the Yotze with the home. Right. But it's always better to try, at least if you can't light, at least to go to someone that's lighting, and this way you hear the brachas.
Right.
And then, in case, because again, you have a suffix every time you see the Chanukah, you're going to make a bracha. So go to someone. If let's say you're in a place where you can't light, it's impossible for you to light. You can't light.
But you're playing for the whole flight.
Well, a plane, you're not going to be able to hear a bracha from anyone. You're basically finished on a plane. But if you go to
Quebec City.
What?
Quebec City.
Quebec City. So if you can find someone,
I mean, the first night of Hanukkah.
if you can light where you are, is the best thing. If you can find a place to light, it's the best thing.
There's a Lubavitcher.
Serious?
Yeah. That's why I had this. I was there sukkahs too.
So if you go where there's absolutely no Jews, so there's no Birchas Araya.
If you go into those Jews, so there's an interesting halacha. It's actually a steal in the Mechaber, because the Mechaber hold that when you travel, you don't make you just yotze with your wife at home, right? You don't have to make a bracha. But the Mechaber says that if you travel to a place where there's no Jews, since you have to see the neighbors, you're mechuyev to light in order to make an Chanukah to see the neighbors. If you're traveling to a place where there are no Jews, you're worse off. There's no Chanukah. You're not even going to see it in the window. So you have to light yourself in order to
for you to see.
In order for you to see. Yeah.
Go to the park and sit in the park.
Now we have a problem. You can't just light in the park bench. You can't light in the park bench. You have to light by your house, right? Light in the park bench. That's the Scheiner. The Rabbi gave a share. If it's a chayvus abayis, it's chayvus aguf.
Windy.
The whole Scheiner, if you can light, if a person has to light in their Chanukah, the takonos their Chanukah was by the house, by the Pesach abayis, by the door of the house. Today we light inside the house, by the window. But to light somewhere on a park bench, there's a mitzvah like Chanukah, so it's a whole machlokes to Mersham and other
lightings that are done.
Most achronim seem to hold that you can't light on a park bench. You have to light at your home. So if I'm in a place where I can't light,
don't we hold that the city's a reshus a yachid?
Yeah, it's not my house. It's not my house. I have to light at my house. Can't light somewhere else. No, there's no such thing.
So like when they light in front of the city hall.
That's for the cameras.
Or the guys who drive around with the moose antlers in the car.
First of all, who's lighting? Who lights it? The mayor? Who lights it? He's Jewish?
No, it's the Lubavitch kid.
All right. So anyway, I started off Lubavitch now. The Shiloh maybe it's within the Beis HaKnesses, the Shul you light. It's a special takot in the Shul you light for Pasumei Nisa. So the Shiloh every time you have, right, and the Shul you light, Pasumei Nisa, the Masakim to light. And the takona goes so far, again, so we'll see how much time we have for this, the takona goes so far that even if you're lighting at home, you make a bracha, you're going to make two brachas on light. You can make one bracha on light in shul and one bracha on light at home. So, and you could do that because there's a special takana to light in the Beis HaKnesses where there's pasumei nisa. So, some want to stretch it. Let's say you're in a big masipa, in a gathering, and a lot of Jews are coming together. So we should light for the same reason. But again, the literature poskim don't hold of it. So there's only the takana of the Beis HaKnesses. Some of the Hasidic poskim say maybe you could. Maybe you should find someone that didn't make a bracha that's not going to light anywhere else to be yotze. That's probably what they do in the thing. Yeah. What? Yeah. So this is a big shaila. If you make a shechiyonu twice, if you light, so make out there. And if a person lights in shul and he says a shechiyonu in shul, he should be having in mind to be moitzi his bnei beisay at home. with the Shechianu, because otherwise you have a Shiloh making the Shechianu twice. You've already made a Shechianu in Shul. But Moshe holds you can make a Shechianu even if you don't have anyone at home. But Parma Shavua seems to say that you should be Moitzi Yibnei Beisei at home, but if you line a Shul Shechianu, you should be Moitzi Yibnei Beisei at home. The question is, if you made a Shechianu at home, whether you can make a Shechianu in Shul already, again, the place can be matter to make a Shechianu the second time in Shul. So Seven Takana to light in the Shul. But a person that's lighting for his home, he's not lighting in the Shul, he's lighting for his home, he has to light by a house. Somebody's going to light somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So it's not so simple. It's a big shiloh in the what's called the home, what's called the place. Shem Zalman has a shiloh, you get a tent. If people are going out to battle, in the trenches, if they could light by the trench, they could light something. Okay, each person should ask a shiloh when it comes up and it's a gaya, but on a plane, can light. What?
They live in a tall building, a high floor.
Yeah.
That's an issue too, right?
Yeah, you're in the hotel, you're on the 18th floor.
Yeah, so you're lighting for yourself today.
Whoever's in the room can see.
Question is, nobody can see it outside.
Should you light it by the window anyway?
Yeah, so Moshe says that in Manhattan, he was looking at Manhattan, there's buildings all over the place, so the guy across the building for you can see. They say today that, people always are looking up in the buildings, you see it. You can light by the windows, yeah. Anyway, so that's a shiloh. When a person's traveling, let's get back to the shiloh here. When a person is traveling, so even though he's yoitza, if he's yoitza for his wife at home, then he's yoitza. It's just a question of doing, of getting the brachas and everything. So if someone else is lighting, you go to someone else's house. If he wants to be mishtatif, question if that works. But at least he'll hear the brachas and it'll be yoitza something. If nobody's lighting from at home, the whole family's traveling to so they're all on the plane. There's nobody lighting at home. You have a real serious shiloh. He can't be yoitza the mitzvahs ner Chanuka.
Should someone do it inside the house?
So should someone do it inside the house? So there's nobody living in the house. But still, someone should light. Someone should light inside the house. The only thing is that he can't make a bracha on it. So what he should do is, I told someone to do this last year, is he should make a bracha on his own in his own house. Have in mind that he's going to light, making the bracha.
You get a neighbor to do it.
A neighbor to do it. He has in mind to go in, and he goes in and lights it. Someone should just watch the candles, it should be in a safe place. But he has in mind that someone should light it there. Then you can do it. But at least for the first night, and once he lands in Israel, he could light there. But traveling, they have these new patentin with the flashlights. Everybody says turn on a flashlight on the plane.
It's acceptable.
Turn on a flashlight. What? There are two problems with the flashlight. The first problem is if it's considered an error. That's the first problem. When it's very, very schwach, it's considered an error. Shlomo Zalman says Shlomo Zalman's matter it to use an electric one that has batteries. It's made by batteries, not plug-in. But many poskim don't like it. It's not considered an error. Especially if he's traveling, so he's not really in a house, he's on an airplane. It's another shot. It could be yoitza on an airplane. There's another problem with a flashlight. The Gemara says that Ner Chanukah has to be recognizable that it's for Ner Chanukah, that it's not for a light that you need to use. Right? That's why you had to do it higher than 3 tefachim off the ground, lower than 10, lower than 20. You had to put it in a place lower than 10. It should be in a place where people don't say, "Oh, this is my regular light. It's not my lantern that I can see." Remember, today we have electricity, so if you're lighting a candle, there's got to be a reason for it. But in those days, they everything was lamps, was fire. So if you're lighting a Hanukkah, maybe you just need some light on your dining room table. So it has to be lit in a way. What?
Especially if it's just one.
Especially just one. So it has to be lit in a way that's recognizable that it's considered a Ner Chanukah. And you light a flashlight, usually it's not so recognizable that it's a. I think you want to read or something. You said hold it up. You don't read when you hold it up.
Separate.
I don't know.
Case like that?
No. Anyways, that's. Person should work out his travel arrangements, that he should be able to light somewhere, because of make travel arrangements.
It's just wrong. You have a 1 o'clock flight and you get there at 6 in the morning.
That's impossible. You can't do that. You got to make a a night flight, you know, like afternoon flights, and then they lose out in the there. What?
You book a smoking room in the hotel.
Yeah.
They got rooms that are designated you can smoke in them.
Right.
So you get a room like that, you won't have to worry about the fire alarm.
There was a Shiloh, just end up with the Shiloh, as a Bachur in Yeshiva. So, let's say a Bachur in Yeshiva, right? So his family likes him at home, right? His family likes him at home. But he wants to be Yotze the mitzvah, so he's going to light in they have, you know, either in the dorm room or in the Machlokes with Moshe and the barn, light in the dorm room or in the dining room. When the Tel Yeshiva had a fire, everybody Yeshiva started lighting everything in the dining room. But I remember I learned in Staten Island by Moshe's Yeshiva, so everybody light in the dorm room. It was like a fire one year. The mattress caught on fire. So, because the guy wants to light himself, so even though the Maldik Allah B'Sech Pesei at home, but Ashkenaz, you light yourself, each Baruch wants to light himself, so he lights himself. But let's say he happens to be the guy davening Mariv, and he lights, he makes the bracha, and he lights for the base medrash, he lights. So now, Mordechai, as his mitzvah, his family lit him at home, he was already Yotze the mitzvah at home. Also the brachas, he got the brachas, because he lit them there for the shul. So now the Shiloh, could he light with a bracha in his dorm room, like everybody else is lighting? Could he do that? No, Mordechai who's Yotze. He wants to be Yotze his own mitzvah, he wants to light. He already lit himself. He already lit for the base medrash. So the Amos says it's not so simple. It could be he can't light now with a bracha. If he lights for the onward, he should be mishtatev with someone else and hear their brachas, because he can't make another bracha. He already made the brachas, and he lit. And he lit. His parents lit for him at home. It could be he was already Yotze the Ikedim, and after brachas he already got.
But the brachas in Shul is presuming is he being Yotze him?
Yeah, but he's getting a bracha. He's getting the brachas. Yeah, some would argue that he has a mind not to be Yotze at home. He's not being Yotze at home. If we sound like Rabbi Akiva, he's not being Yotze at home. He wasn't Yotze, then he should light in his room maybe. But it's not so simple that that's really the case. So the best thing is, you should... but these questions come up. You have to understand the parameters of the...
Friday?
What?
Friday, you should be in two different rooms, or you should... After you shouldn't do the hanuka candle set up.
On Shabbos.
Why?
Because hanuka, we should really light the Shabbos candles first. So really, since you're supposed to light the Shabbos candles first, and we don't, we do the hanuka candle first. So really, you should be in two separate rooms, or you shouldn't set up the Shabbos candles till after you lit the hanuka.
Well... The shaila is,
I can get some other things.
Yeah. The shaila is if you should really, your wife lights the Shabbos. The shaila is like this: so your wife lights the Shabbos candles, right, and you light the Hanukkah candles. So let her light first. Let her light the Shabbos candles. This is a kasha. Let her light the Shabbos candles first. You drive to shul after she lights the Shabbos candles, right? Drive to shul, so you're doing malacha. So let her light the Shabbos candles, and she's not doing malacha, and you light the Hanukkah candles afterwards.
Is that what we do?
Yeah, we don't do that, right? We light the Hanukkah candles first. Yeah. You know why? To know. We're saying on those sheets. It's machlokes. If you do the Chanuka first and the Shabbos, we're saying on the sheets. If you do the Chanuka first, that's how we go. So, yeah.
So long as you have enough oil to last.